Yes, Wagwan people. Welcome back to Afriq 24, and we are back once again after missing out for one full week Apple in the international break. But we are happy to be back, and a lot imefanyika in the world of sport, and we shall be here to analyze it once more. And apologies for missing out for a full week, but to resume Apple in full force to continue with the analysis hapo. And the last time we were here, no, sorry, let me not say the last time we were here, but while I was away for a full week, tumeona a lot has happened. DR Congo imeshinda playoffs za Africa. They're going to play against the winner between Jamaica and the other side, which has a team. And that name kidogo, I might not be the best in pronouncing it, but a shout out to DR Congo. They deserved hiyo ushindi yenye walipata, and we give them their flowers hapo DR Congo. And for Nigeria, let me just say that they still have a long way to go. Wako na squad poa, but they have to make some few changes if they are to challenge for anything. They have to make some few changes hapo, because as it stands hapo kidogo, Nigeria isn't doing well as they think, and they have big names hapo. And somebody like Tosin is somebody who can do a job for Nigeria, but I don't understand why Tosin Adarabayo doesn't play for Nigeria. But either way, Congo, shout out to Congo, na watu wamecheza poa. They have shown that these guys can put in a good performance, and them going for the playoffs. Uh, I still think it's unfair for Europe to have four playoff slots, and two from the rest of the international countries, because four slots are a lot for Europe. And so if FIFA really is fair, they have to revisit some of the rules zenye zimekuwa placed hapo. But either way, shout out to Congo. And as they go for the playoffs, Jamani Congo, please make the continent proud and make sure you qualify for the World Cup. Because if they qualify for the World Cup, then furaha ni kwetu sisi wana Afrika. We always support the winners. But for the Super Eagles, I think something needs to be done. I don't know whether it's the coaching, I don't know whether it's the system, I don't know whether it's the players, but something needs to be done about the Super Eagles, because kidogo the Super Eagles, they're not really as good as they were 10, 15 years ago. Super Eagles kidogo saizi hawapunguza makali. So I think we need to see some few changes from the Super Eagles, and the quality is there. We have seen the players doing well in the international stages, so we expect them to replicate the same when they wear the badge for the Super Eagles. But either way hapo, outside that also tumekuwa na game hapa Kenya, and we've had two international games, two losses. Equitorial Guinea, the first one. The second one, it was the 8-0 demolition by Senegal. And speaking as a football fan, I have never seen our national team being dismantled that way. Never ever in my life have I ever seen Harambee Stars being demolished 8 goals to nil. And I would like to take you guys back a little bit kidogo. There was a time that Benny McCarthy spoke about the game which we played, Kenya versus Gambia, and he said that Chan games we play the local players, say the other the qualifier, the friendlies nini, we play our international level, the international players, because I spoke about uh, after the game na akasema that if we play like ile back four yetu ya Chan, ile ya Bandi, Sili, By that time, I think Omija was still in the country. Bandi, Sili, Omija, and Abud. He said against Gambia, we would have held even 10 goals. But by that time, I think tulikuwa adrenaline because we saw our Chan squad was playing well. So we saw hiyo squad yetu ya Chan is the one which can go toe to toe with not toe to toe. Our Chan squad is better than the squad ya international players. So we feel as if that's the best squad to compete on the international stages. But for me, to agree with what McCarthy said, because enyewe, truthfully speaking, even if we play our chance squad and we say we are not calling any international players, we still have a long way to go in terms of football. And the biggest difference between us na ile Senegal squad yenye ilituchapa ni quality. The quality of their players is higher. And I wouldn't even say that the issue ni ati ni players wa Gor Mahia, because if we put even FC Leopards, we put Kenya Police, or we put Shabana, or even put Nairobi United players, still kidogo, uh, we wouldn't, the result would still be the same. So issue kubwa hapa na yetu yenye imefanya tulipigwa 8 goals ni the quality of players. Senegal, ukiangalia Senegal players, most of them wanacheza on the outskirts of Europe as compared to ours. So if I look at their system and their way of scouting their players, we if we are to compete against sides like that, we have to adopt the same policy that they are using. And when I say that, what do I mean? Nikisema hivyo namaanisha ukiangalia most of their players are not playing in the local leagues. Ukiona kama if you bring Senegal to play in the Chan, don't expect them to thrive, but put them on a grand stage kitu kama AFCON, whereby they they are now able to call up their players. Utapata first 11 yote inacheza Europe. Players are playing in France, Belgium, Scotland, even Greece, EPL, La Liga, and wherever, and unapata those players wanapata experience a lot. So kidogo inakuwa a bit difficult for us to be able to compete against those sides. So mi naweza sema what imefanya we lost that heavy loss ni, first of all, I think we didn't prepare well enough to compete for the two matches, and second of all, what I do feel the can I call it really a mistake? No, I can't say it's a mistake, but I'd say the quality of their players, ndio, the Senegalese quality is better than ours, and outside the quality being better than ours, wako na system poa, na ni system poa sana kushinda yetu, and it's a system that has been there for years, because this is a side that qualified for the 2018 World Cup, and outside it qualifying for the 2018 World Cup, it's still a side that was threatening, yani ilikuwa devastating. If you watch the 2018 World Cup, you'd notice that Senegal, hata ile game walicheza against the Polish, those guys walikuwa dominate. They were very, very solid at the back, and they were looking very, very scary. 2022 World Cup, they also did well, but we expected better when they played against England. But unfortunately, walitoka, but they did well, playing without even Sadio Mane. But sincerely speaking, the 8-0 demolition, uh, it's the worst thing we've ever seen. You can't blame McCarthy, you can't blame Atio players in your goal, because if we say that, even if we put players from Shabana or FC or anywhere else, I still think bado tungepoteza the game that we played. But either way, we just accept that saizi team yetu iko down, and we need to put in effort to be able to to improve ourselves. And if we have to call our if we have to call better players, then itabidi. But anyway, let me welcome hapo Jose. Jose, karibu sana kwa Afrika hapa 24. And eh, juzi tu hapa Jose, we got demolished by Senegal. Makosa imefanyika wapi Jose? Karibu sana.
Mambo Alex, long time.
Karibu
Mambo,
sana.
unajua niliona wewe ni fan wa Senegal. Habari gani? Niona ulipigwa mpaka ukabadilisha kuwa fan wa Kenya ukakuwa fan wa Senegal.
No, funny thing Jose, I've always been supporting Senegal kutoka World Cup ya 2018. Napendanga venye those guys they set themselves up. And napenda the fact that hawachezangi hii ball yenye tumezoea hii ya kupurapura, but I didn't expect the demolition because tulikuwa humble design ingine. The time first half ziliingia bao sita, hata mi Jose was very much humbled. I didn't expect that, but I expected us to lose, lakini si bao nane. I was very humbled.
What is happening? Football is advancing in Africa, but East Africa is being left behind. If you watch the game between Morocco and Uganda, Uganda was demolished 4-0. So I think football in Africa is changing, but are Kenya and Uganda and Tanzania changing? That's the real question. And what do we expect as a country if we can be beaten like this in international friendlies, which we have not qualified for anything, so we are not taking serious these international friendlies, and we are supposed to be taking them serious because we don't have any other matches we are going to play. We are not going to play in the AFCON, so we cannot gauge ourselves. So where are we going to gauge ourselves? At least Uganda and Tanzania in the AFCON, they can try to gauge themselves from there. But us, what are we gauging ourselves to as we cruise in AFCON 2027? Are we going to be demolished in the same stadium that we are going to give them, the new stadium Talanta? Are we going to be demolished in that stadium, or what is going to happen? Because you clearly can see Kenya, the aura is getting down. I don't know what is the problem, because we have been saying that we have had the coach, the technical bench, which is working. So there is no problems. You have been hearing about funds or nothing. So it's up to them to tell us what is happening. It's up to the players to tell us what is not going on, because this is a joke. How can you be beaten 8-0 in a friendly, even though you could have tried, tungepigwa hata kama ni tatu ama ine, tungekuwa tunasema angalau you tried. But it means you have gone down, because the Senegal that beat us in AFCON 20, was it
19,
2018, 2019?
19.
The AFCON that the Senegal that beat us in AFCON is a different animal, because that one we would try to maintain it. So it means, are we down in players, or what are we doing? I don't understand. I think we are going reverse. Instead of going forward, we are going reverse. I think us hosting the CHAN, and even though there were no international players, we could have tried to take from that positivity and continued with it in the men's team. But I think these players wakiambiliwa pesa ndio wanaweza cheza. Hakuna kitu ingine, wakiambiliwa kuna pesa watapeana, ndio I think they show up for the games. It's a sad day for Kenya's football, because we always thinking that these guys sijui kama hata wanasikiaga vibaya. Do they even feel bad wakipigwa 8-0? Because I don't think even anybody should be talking about being a Harambee Star football player after they are thrashed that 8. I think they should, sijui, lakini mambo ni ngumu.
Okay, asante sana Jose, and I think Jose, you have raised a very very important point hapo, and I didn't see it that way. The fact that umesema football in Africa is growing, but it seems East Africa we are being left behind. And let me bring the point that I was watching a documentary, I think about a day or 2 days ago, about Comoros, and nimelan that Comoros they are sending not they are sending they are scouting players who are playing in the European leagues, who have some, let me call it they have wako na nini, they have an option for playing for Comoros because wako na nationality ya Comoros in them, so they are scouting those players and they are assembling them, and from there is where they are creating a team. And I'm seeing also the same from sides like Equatorial Guinea, let me say sana sana West Africa, uh, hizo sides za Equatorial Guinea, the Gambia, the nini, I'm seeing them, they are trying to bring in players wenye wanacheza in the European leagues. And tukirudi to the 2022 World Cup, the Morocco side yenye ilifika semifinals, no player was playing in the local leagues. All of their players, even the coach, wote walikuwa wametoka from the European leagues. So my question is that the way forward for us, Jose? Because after we were beaten, nilikaa chini na nikaona, I was trying to look at it. Is it the quality of the players ndio iko juu kushinda yetu by far, or what is it? Should we adopt your policy ya the likes of Comoros, the likes of Equatorial Guinea, and let's say West Africa at large? Because from the looks, naona ni kama that's what is working, and for us I think we are adopting more of bringing our local players and trying to incorporate some few wenye wanacheza from majuu.
Well, but I think we have been doing that. We have been bringing players from abroad to play for us, but when they come to play for us, they are not showing up. So what I can really say is the problem is with the players. They are not showing up for any game. They look they look a bit lost. I don't know what is wrong with them. The morale is not there. You cannot see anything you don't see even the winning spirit in that team. About what you are talking about African teams and how they are changing. We have a country, I don't want to look down upon countries, but we have a country like Cape Verde. With the small resources, Cape Verde is in African Cup. They are going to raise it for World Cup. What are we? We with all the resources we have we entered African Cup? We're not in African Cup. Well, look at the countries like Mauritius. They are now in AFCON. But are we being drawn in that AFCON? No, because I think we have tried to tackle the issue of players being given merit without even being able to play the football. I think that one has gone. I think the problem is these guys are not serious. That is the only issue I can tell you. Because the technical bench is there, but these guys are not serious. I don't think these players who are playing for Kenya, they are serious. At all. Because if they were, I think they could even be now banning up, because how can you be beaten 8-0 in a friendly? How? And even you did not even score even one goal. You did not even score even one goal to console
We
yourselves.
didn't even look like we were going to score, even shot
I
on
see
target.
that game. Even I did not. It's better I did not watch it because I could have become furious. I watched the highlights. I reached the highlights half of the highlights when they were going for halftime. Even I felt I'll not watch it again. The humiliation was already enough. Yani tunachezewa mpira nyuma, hakuna mpira inatoka nyuma. All the possession iko side yetu. I felt really bad that bwana, kama football haitawezekana bwana, afadhali tu stick na sports zingine juu sasa itakuwa ni tu kama pesa tuna waste down the drain. Then when you come out from football, you come to other sporting activities like rugby, and you see how the Lioness fared well in the rugby. They reached the semi-finals. They were playing against South Africa, a team which was very strong. But they played, they beat Zimbabwe, they beat Uganda, the arch rivals, they beat Ghana. If you look at the way they are performing, these Lionesses, you could be very proud. Just go to netball. Netball, Kenya defended their title. They are the world running champions of the netball title. Go to the one we are calling, what was it called? There's another one they were playing the other day. Men were playing. They also won and they are holding the title. If you go to other sporting activities like running now, you know that is our profession. That is clearly taking. I think if they are not serious, bwana, you know, I saw people say si vizuri sometimes hold sports kidogo kwa football kidogo kwa inchi. Sometimes even I think it is advisable. Saa zingine mpaka mnaihold mpaka hawa watu wakuwe serious, kwa sababu the more tunaendelea tu na hii mchezo you cannot be having that you have, how many teams are in the Kenya Premier League? How many teams? We have
18.
around 18 teams. 18 teams, but you tell me that there is no players who can play in that 18 teams? There is no possible players who can play for Kenya who have talent and who are playing for the jersey of the Kenyan team? 18 teams. And we still have foreign players who are coming inside the country. What kind of a joke are we doing? I don't understand. But I think there should be an overhaul in football management in Kenya. I think the FKF is doing a good job, but I think we should check on these players now, because you cannot tell us we have given you resources, you're going to you're sleeping in good hotels, you're traveling, there's no problem with your traveling, you're being paid. So what else is the issue? I thought the issue was about money. I thought the issue was about you not getting good hotels. I thought the issue was about you not getting flights. So I thought the issue was you not having a good coach. What's the issue now? Can they tell us? It's becoming now a nuisance. What's the issue? They need to tell us as players. And by the way, niliona nchi nyingine makatel wakiuliza wananchi, I think ni AC Milan, wanauliza mtuambie vizuri nini mnataka, kwa sababu hatuelewi. Tumewapatia kila kitu lakini bado mchezo. I think which team was it? I don't remember the name of the team. We should call them to order. Wakicheza hii mpira, hata kama atakuwa na international friend is Kenya, tuulize what do you want, tell us, kwa sababu we have given you every single bit of chance. Yeah? What do you want? What do you want from us? Because we have given you every avenue. You are humiliating us left, right, and center. Now, how do you think the ranking of our country will? It will fall down again. You cannot be thrashed 8-0 and continue thinking your ranking will be there. Hatujaifika hata 100, Alex. We have never crossed the 100 mark in football, but we are still. Sometimes even I don't long for the 2027 AFCON, because we can have the AFCON as host, but where do you think we are going to? Where do you think we are going to be? We can be hosting, but if you are given like teams like Morocco, Senegal, Cameroon,
Even
teams like
Algeria,
Ivory Coast,
even
if
Tunisia.
Gambia is rushing us 3-0 at home, Gambia, where do you think we are going to ponea? Ama si tunataka tu tupatiwe Tanzania ndio tutosheke? Where are we going to ponea in this whole thing? Do you see us even coming out of group stages? We can't. So why do we even need to host this thing even if we cannot even come out of the group stages? Because I know as a country, all the countries who have hosted AFCON from 2019, they have been coming to the semi-finals and quarterfinals. Go and look the cup that was being played in Egypt. Go and look at the cup which was being played in Ivory Coast. Ivory Coast won the cup. Come and check the one which is being played in Morocco. Do you think it will be different? Do you think Morocco will not reach semi-finals? They will. And maybe even they will be in the finals. But come to 2027, where do you think African countries will be? East African countries? Will they even pass group stages?
Group stage.
All of them even leave Kenya alone. All of them, do you think they pass group stages? At least Uganda is trying.
No,
but Kenya, do you see Kenya? Do you see Kenya? Imagine the first opener you are given a team like Morocco. They will thrash you. Mnajifanyaga hapa mlipiga Morocco. They will thrash you, bwana. But this one can have a change, because we still have one more year to do this. We still have one more year to do this. But if you are not serious, mimi na advocate afadhali sasa, tukiona kama hiyo AFCON imechezwa, hatuone vile tutacheza upuzi. Kama tutacheza upuzi, ya advocate hata tuanze kuspend pesa mingi kuweka kwa more avenues like other games like volleyball. Volleyball even is doing as marvelous things in Africa. They won in Ivory Coast. They won. I watched that match between Kenya and Cameroon. It was Kenya versus Cameroon. Was it Cameroon? Yeah, I remember it was Cameroon. We won. We beat them at their home ground. They were at home. Yeah? And Egypt have been the fathers and the goddess of volleyball in Africa. But we thrashed them. and we thrashed Cameroon. So I don't know where we are headed as a football fraternity, but I think we need an overhaul. We need an overhaul, and these players need to be asked the direct questions. Nyinyi wote mnaendaga mnalaumu coach, Makadhi this, Makadhi that, Makadhi why like this, kwa nini nini? No. Now we need to check out the players now. We have been taking all these coach outs because of saying the coaches are not good. When have we ever asked ourselves, are the players okay? No, it cannot continue happening. I think it's tiresome now. It's getting tiresome.
And so thank you for your Jose. And as we continue, so the the Harambee Starlets have qualified for the WAFCON. Ya Madem ni WAFCON. And shout out to Beldino Demba, the head coach. They qualified. Well, the last game I think they won their group stage match, and they booked their tickets to the to the 2026, yes, WAFCON that is being played. So my question is, Jose, is people might feel this is bad, but should we shift all our attention towards the female sports? Because I feel like female sports huku Kenya iko so much underrated, mostly football and the likes of rugby. I think Yamademi iko underrated, and the funny thing is performing better than the men. So should we shift all our attention to them because I think they're making us proud?
Imagine we needed starlets to come and do a revenge for us. Ati tulibidi tuite hawa starlets wakuje wapige Gambia because sisi tuligongwa na Gambia vibaya sana. Ati hawa ndio walikuja kutuondoa hiyo machozi tulikuwa nayo and the shame we had after being thrashed at home. I think this team is a team to watch. I have watched their game. I watched that game between them and was it Gambia? Yeah. And
Yeah,
and the
Gambia.
goals they scored, it was fantastic. I like one lady. I think anaitwa Irene, or she's being called what? I remember there is one
Striker.
lady. Yeah, there is one striker. There is two ladies I have known. Ni vile majina inapotea, but I really like them so much. And I think ukiniambia jina nitakwambia ni nani. I think inapotea.
Let me try to remember.
I liked those ladies. They are marvelous. They are marvelous, and they are playing very good football.
Mm.
So I think
So me,
if they are performing, we need to give them support. Wanaume, they are really letting us down. Let's give a support to the ladies. I don't know even why the ladies are not being given something for what they have been doing.
yeah, true, very true.
Should be given something than giving these men, kwa sababu hata men sasa unapatio pesa halafu Alex wewe unagongwa bao 8 bwana, na unarudisha na kikapu karibu watupige bao 11 tukue kila mchezaji arudi na yake mpira
Actually,
yake.
it could have been more. It could have even been more.
Me, I support these ladies. I think I watched their game. I know it is not going to be easy. Our AFCON will not be easy, but at least they have qualified and they are going to show their readiness. And they are going to, I think, where we need to be played, Morocco.
Yeah, Morocco. Yeah, I think anaitwa Mwanalima Adam, the striker.
No, not that. There is another one. There's another
Mwanalima.
one. There's another. I think she's in wing. Alikuwa either ni number was she? I remember. Was it number 7 or 8? I remember. She was a very good player. Na kuna pia ule alikuwa anachenga. Uliona ule alishenga? Alikuwa anawaangusha side kwa side. I think I'll come with the names in another podcast when we have another show to tell you the names.
Okay, because inaweza kuwa ilikuwa.
But you can tell me the one who scored. The one who scored. You have the game. You can tell me the one who scored.
Mwanalima Adam.
The second and the third.
Mwanalima Adam, and I think Charlene Opia. Charlene was this?
Yeah, Charlene. I'm talking about Charlene.
Opisa.
Yeah, Charlene. I'm talking about Charlene. That lady did marvelous. I know Mwanalima Adam. I know, but the Charlene I think Opia. Opisa. Yeah, Opisa. Yeah, I remember that name. Hiyo ndio ilikuwa napotea. That lady did marvelous. I hope you saw her play. I loved it. She scored the 2 goals, ndio? Yeah, she scored the 2 goals. I remember she's the one who scored the 2 goals because I had her name Hivi nilikuwa nasahau na jina. Unajua ile jina inanichanganya na hii ya rugby because I was also watching the rugby. It was fascinating. Unajua mimi ni mtu wa rugby Alex. Kwa
Mm.
ninapenda kuwasamba kule kwa kiwanja, mimi ni mtu wa rugby. I love watching rugby and it's fascinating also. But what you have said is true. We should, if men are not performing, let's trail all our guns. Sasa hata tutakuwa tukiangalia game gani kama sisi Chelsea AFCON, si afadhali tuangalie
Tofauti ya
WAFCON,
madem,
tuangalie
itabidi tu
WAFCON kwa
tuone ya
sababu kama
madem
WAFCON wafanya nini?
Mm.
Hivi sasa tutakuwa tukishabikia Morocco. It's not your team.
True.
Tunashabikia Senegal. It's not our team. Ati ikifika AFCON ati unasikia mtu akisema na sisi tunaangalia ile timu inakuwa friendly na Kenya sana, tuangalie
Tuna
ile
support Mbumo,
benefits.
tuna support Mbumo na Hakimi.
Ati imagine the last game of CHAN tulikuwa tuna support Morocco, hatu support timu yetu ikuwe ndio iko finals. Ati ndio tulikuwa tuna support chukue kombe. It's such a devastation. It's devastation after devastation. But I know one day it will end and we'll have good things to talk about. I know.
Okay, and asante sana kwa hiyo Jose. We move on swiftly hapo and DR Congo walitoa Nigeria kwa the African playoffs and they are going to play in the World Cup playoffs. Hii itachezwa March, I think it is in March, and they are going to play the winner between Jamaica and there's a side iko na name that I don't know how to pronounce it, but so for me naona DR Congo wamecheza poa. I didn't expect them to beat the Super Eagles, but they played well. They deserved the win. Even the penalty shootout, they were just being vindicated because they were the threatening side against Nigeria. And right now they are in pole position to qualify for the World Cup. So question to you Jose, how impressed are you with DR Congo considering hata huko kwao kuna vita ni nini?
Thank you so much for that question. I think DR Congo is the only team performing in East Africa. That is the only team performing in East Africa, and I want to give them their flowers because they have been playing very good football. Isipokuwa ni vile kulikuwa na mshike ile team walicheza kwa stadium wakataa kuharibu stadium na nini. I think they really played good football. Hata kama Nigeria ilisema ni voodoo ilitumika, kunaga mambo ya voodoo, ni either unashinda ama ushindi. Hiyo sasa
Yeah,
ndio mambo
true.
ilitumika.
True.
So I really like DRC of kind of football. You remember that their country has not been stable, but as you have been blessed, you have been stable, but we don't even have time to play football. We cannot know. But I think also most of DRC playing stuff comes from outside the country. No, there are people who
True.
are playing in certain kind of leagues, and unajua wengi wao wamebarikiwa sana, wametoka nje ya maligi wanacheza huko, kwa sababu unajua DRC watu wengi wameanza kutoka hii. You know, when a country has war, you find so many people go to foreign countries to evade the war, so they become like players there, and then they come back to play for their national team. I think that is what also people are coming back to play for the national teams. I've seen the likes of Akina Mbuemo, I've seen the likes of Akina Ahmad. Ahmad has been playing for the team. We see Senegal, we have so many players who are playing and they have come back to play. We see the likes of Akina Morocco. Morocco, so many of the players, they have come back. You saw even Hakimi won the African Golden Boot. Do we call it the
Ballon d'Or.
Ballon d'Or? The
Mm.
African Ballon d'Or. Unajua sasa yeye ni Ballon d'Or winner bana. I think Cristiano anasikia vibaya. Unajua Cristiano angetaka kushinda African Ballon d'Or, lakini sasa African Ballon d'Or atashindaje na yeye si Mwafrika bwana. So I think it's a good gesture that African football will be nice. Unajua watu wanasemaga Africa hakuna talent. I want to tell you all these guys that have gone there to these places and they are playing for these countries. Just go and check them from where they are coming from. Most of them, they have their roots in Africa, and that's why they have very good food. You know, Africa is fond of resilience and everything, and it has talent. So I think for DRC, they are going to be a force to reckon with in the World Cup. And you can see also the countries like I think DRC can go quite further, even if it will be group stages. Maybe We'll see. I cannot talk about it right now because I've not looked at the other countries. Unajua mpaka Italy yenyewe imeshindwa kuqualify. I saw it, walikuwa very angry, wanasema ati Africa should be given less spots. So
Yes, I saw.
ninashindwa, nyinyi
Imagine.
mmepewa 24 and bado mnashindwa kuqualify, na mmepewa 24 slots na bado mnashindwa kuqualify, na Africa inapewa 10 tu na it's just a shame. Italy imeisha football, I think. Italy football yani inaweza
And
fufuka
and
tena.
see ati Jose ati Italy haina squad. They have good players. See wako na they have a wall at the back, Donnarumma, big game player. They
Lakini
have the
sasa ni
likes
squad
of.
gani hiyo naija qualify for two World Cups?
No, I'm
Two
not
World
saying
Cups
the
they have not
the,
been
the
there.
previous World Cups. They have a good squad. Shida ni the coach ndio get the best out of the players because huko midfield uko
Coach
na mtu
wao ni
kama
nani?
Sandro Tonali. Sini Gattuso huyu mmoja mwenye alikuwa anacheza ball ndio alikuwa anatoa hizo comments. Gattuso
Gattuso
mmoja.
labda alijitusu sasa hii wakati ya wiki anafanya kwa mpira, lakini Italy are playing even next World Cup, sioni wakiwa hapo, mimi sioni wakiqualify. Juu sasa wakimisi ya 2026 inamaanisha wataenda World Cup gani? 2030.
Mm. Wangoje ya Saudi Arabia.
Saudi Arabia bado haiko. Ile inakuja next ni ya Portugal, inakuja Portugal, Spain and Morocco.
Morocco. Mm.
Itakuwa Portugal, Spain and Morocco. Sasa labda wa qualify ile ya Saudi Arabia 2034.
That's what I'm saying. They have an opportunity for that one. But
So,
if I watched the game here on Norway and I saw there are some quality players wenye wako hapo. It's not that at Italy they have players wenye hawajulikani. They have some sort of good players and venye umesema Jose, Europe has a lot of slots even in the playoffs zenye ziko four slots ni za the European countries and then two sasa ndio the outside the continents have to fight for. So DR Congo might probably wanaweza cheza against Jamaica to see which one can qualify. But Europe they have been given four slots. Hizo ndio unapata timu zenye zimecheza vibaya kama hizo Sweden nini hizo, they still have a chance to qualify.
lakini don't underrate Jamaica. Jamaica is strong, eh?
Yeah,
Jamaica
true.
is a very good team, eh? Don't underrate it, ati kusema juu wanacheza DRC wanaweza gongwa. It
Mm.
is a very strong team. I've seen them playing also. Usicheze now. There is no team which is simple. Ukisikia team imefika hizo maene. Jamaica, I think they play in the Copa.
Yeah,
They play in those
they're
sides of South
playing.
America, sindio?
Yeah.
Yeah, they qualify in American qualifications, sindio?
Yeah, wameenda
Hawa wanakuja
playoff.
group ya American, yeah. So it means wale wamefika basi wamecheza mpira. They have
Mm.
played with the likes of akina, is it Cuba, the likes of akina hao
But
hizo
you see,
countries.
Jose, before even DRC huko Africa imequalify direct, so Jamaica still has to play one more side, then the winner of those kwa hiyo mechi ndio atakutana na DRC.
Wanacheza na nani Jamaica?
Kuna ka country hapo hiyo jina sijui
Ile
nini.
kitu nimejua ni Middle East ndio hakuna mpira bwana. Kama Qatar imequalify for World Cup 2024, 2026. Na ndio nakwambiaga Urunga aache vina akichipiga kifua hapa, hakuna timu zinacheza. Wamequalify. Qatar has qualified for World Cup.
Mm.
Huh?
Yes.
That's why I told you Africa inakuwa kinyang'anyiro. Kinyang'anyiro. If those African countries can be shifted to that part of the region, Asia, I think ni timu mingi sana hazita. Unajua Asia we have the likes, the only dominantable people there are Japan,
Japan,
South Korea.
South Korea kiasi.
You go and find the likes of Israel. You
Mm.
there, you find the likes of akina Saudi Arabia.
Mm.
Which other ones? Sasa hizo zingine nianze kuuliza kuhusu Jordan, nianze kuuliza kuhusu Iran. Lakini Iran ni kamoto, Iran kalipiga TZ.
Mm.
But
But I feel like
Iran
places like
sisi
those
tunaumaga
ones
Iran. Sisi tuliuma Iran, tunaumaga.
I feel places like those ones, sides like Senegal zinaweza thrive easily.
Hata sisi tutashinda, tunaweza qualify virahisi sana kama tuko hizo parts. Lakini Africa, unaona sasa Africa has how many countries?
54.
But we are given how many spots?
I think we have 9. So playoffs if Congo qualifies, we'll bring 10 teams. But
So
so we have
how
9.
many countries are in Europe?
Europe has less countries. I don't have the exact figure, but they have less countries.
Just check there. Just Google there. You tell me how many countries are there in Europe.
Countries.
Tuone kama hizi vitu zinakuwaga fair.
They are not fair.
Tuone kama hizi vitu
44
zinakuwaga
countries.
fair.
44 countries in Europe.
And
44.
they are given how many spots?
Let me see the European World Cup slots 2026. 16 teams.
16 teams. So that is what?
16 teams.
That is
Uh,
almost 50 what? 55%.
na ujue
Do
Jose,
you
hiyo
use
16 teams hizo ni direct qualifications. Na kwa nini kwa playoffs there are how many teams will qualify? I think four. Four teams will qualify from their playoffs.
so there are 20 teams. And you say there are 34, there are 44 countries.
44 countries.
So that means it's 45%, around 45%, because that is a half of, that is almost a half, because a half is 22. Na umesema 20, si ndio? So that is almost, that is even a half. Let's say it's half. What about Africa? 10. That is what? 10.
Africa, we have
9
9 ziko
minus.
guaranteed, then one is going for playoffs.
So that is 10 minus 54. How many remaining? 44. So that is
44.
that even half? That is not even half. So that means it's almost 15%. If you go to America and other places, you will see how we are disadvantaged, brother, and it's not good. Because if we had those who are shortened and najua hizi kataa usii ikishorteniwa wanadhania huko ndio wanajua tu bole, but if it was fair, I'm telling you we could be having around 15 spots, but now it's not fair. It will not be fair. And ujue zilikuwa kidogo ni vile kulifanyika nini zilikuwa kidogo ni vile hata kuliongezewa teams zikafika 48. Tunakumbuka zilikuwa 32. So ilikuwa inamaanisha teams ngapi? Afrika ilikuwa inapewa team 7.
5. Alikuwa 7 ama hata 5?
Hata ni 5 I think.
I think so 5.
Out of 54 countries. So you see it is unfair, very unfair. And I don't know what Motsepe does about that, because he should be talking about that. His work is not to only be flying and going to countries wakiwa na Infantino. Unaona kazi yake anapenda sana kwenda na Infantino na kupiga picha. He should be talking about that. He's the head of African football, AFCON. Why does he not talk on behalf of African countries? We need more sports in it's all FIFA. Sio yote ni FIFA, si hata hiyo ya AFCON si ni FIFA. Yeah, they should be talking about that. But I think also not even that. How many times have African hosted the World Cup?
Once.
Yeah. In almost how many years?
Mingi
when did
sana.
the World Cup start? The World Cup started
way
very
back.
long time ago. Unajua ba ukiwa na World War 1 kulikuwa na World Cup.
Naona.
Hata World War 1 kulikuwa na World Cup. World War 1 kulikuwa na World Cup. World War 2 kulikuwa na World Cup. So tell me, from 1910, now right now we are in 2025. So how many years are those?
Mingi sana.
Around 100 and something years. Ati tuko tumechezesha 2 World Cup once. And they are proud kusema ati African hosted the World Cup first time in South Africa.
And I think Jose, ile World Cup Africa, I think has to be the best, if I'm not wrong.
Because it is hosted only once. It is hosted only once in a lifetime. African has never hosted World Cup. I think they thought even we could never host.
Hiyo World Cup ndio nadhani ilishika kabisa.
Sasa hivyo ndivyo kuko nani, we are disadvantaged in football, Alex. In terms of football we are disadvantaged. Na si ati si facilities hatuna. We have them. If it is building of stadiums, hapa Qatar hata hakuwa na kitu wakitengeneza hizo vitu. When they were being given the hosting of World Cup, they had not built even stadium, even road facilities, even infrastructure. But as we already have a Kickstarter, we have hotels, we have roads, even though not all of them they are built, we can try. That is what it is. Hivyo ndivyo iko. We are disadvantaged. Now, right now is when we'll have another African country, but it will not be an African country hosting alone. It will be with multiple teams. Itakuwa imecombine na Spain. Now, where do you think it will lie most? Morocco ama Spain ama Portugal?
Huko Spain na Portugal.
Ndio zitakuwa zikichukua zile game mingi. The same way that has happened in Mexico, US and Canada.
Yeah, true hapo. I agree with you. Utapata Mexico itapata some few games. Ni ngumu usikie ati the final is being played in Mexico or final is being played in Canada. Hiyo the Americans wataichukua.
That is what it is. I think Premier League is coming back. I think also we are going to talk about Premier League because
Mm.
unajua sasa hizi mambo za hii kupigwa nane mi hata
International.
zinanibo
Yeah.
kabisa. Mi nasikia nimekasirika kwa sababu hao watu hawawezi kuwa wanapigwa nane hivyo, na tunawachekesha all the time. Naona watu wakimake jokes ati tulipigwa. When you make jokes should be very angry and calling out those players, all of them. Kwanza hiyo list nataka kujua yote. Wale walikuwa huko wanacheza, kwani wanacheza aje?
Actually people even said
Ni
nini?
nini
Watu
Senegal iko
walisema yeye
nayo
ni Gor
atu?
Mahia. Watu
Ni nini
walisema
ni
ni
nini?
shida ni Gor Mahia.
Mimi sitaki kublame niseme ati ni Gor Mahia ama ni nani. That is a national team. Hao ni watu walikuwa wanacheza national. Juu wote wako na ID za Kenya. They are all people who are supposed to be playing. I don't want to take it like that. But we should be very serious. We need to be very serious with what we are doing as a country. We need to be very serious with what we are doing. Because you cannot be, you are representing the, when you have you ever seen the race, the people who are running in for the tracks field, wale wanakimbia the marathon and everything, umewahi kuona wakituaibisha? Hata kama watanzania wanashindwa, they hold their heads up high, hawakubali hata kukuwa hizo manamba 10, wanajaribu kukaribia hata kama ni namba 3. This
Yeah,
is a
true.
such a shame. It is, they should feel ashamed. Hatufai kuwa tukiwabembeleza. They should feel ashamed, those players. Me, I don't blame any technical bench. Bench are giving them the skills, don't want to use. Me, they should feel ashamed, all of them. Shame on them.
Yeah, true. And wacha tuingie tu kwa predictions za hii wiki hapo and tuki digress from the international football. The games inarudi hii wiki. I'll kick off hapo, we have Chelsea versus Burnley and that's where my this is our match week fixture. Tumefika match week 12 hapo and I'll kick off, we have Chelsea versus Burnley. Hii itakuwa inachezwa Turf Stadium and so Chelsea fans will be very happy because Cole Palmer is back in the squad and kuna youngster wao hapo mwenye amekuwa akitesa in the international level hapo, Estevao Williams scored against Senegal, scored against Tunisia despite Brazil walidraw Tunisia 1-1 and the wonder kid of late is shining. Watu wanasema he will put Pedro Neto on the bench but as for now sasa Chelsea hawafai kuwa na excuse yoyote because if Cole Palmer is back right now, atrai kusikia ati stories ati injury ati nini sijui hatuko poa. Right now Cole Palmer is back and is back at the right time, so hopefully he won't be injured for the long parts of the season so that tusisikie mara oni excuses, though I feel like the team has to do well with or without Cole Palmer because if somebody is out and huo ndo mtu mnategemea then I don't think the coach is doing enough because the team should keep on going. Unaona, if kama for example Arsenal, if Odegaard is out, Eze anafaa ingie and he does the job and the train moves on, so ndio team isikuwe a one man team, ikuwe team yenye it's a collective effort. But for Chelsea being away versus Burnley, me I'm going for a narrow 2-1 win. Nawe Jose?
Nimesikia, lakini mchunge msikue cold as cold Palmer. Lakini hapo mtashinda hiyo. That game will be an easy win for Chelsea. 3-0.
3-0
Let me
and
put it 3-1. 3-1.
3-1 and pia hapo tuko na game ya Liverpool versus Nottingham Forest and so I think Liverpool will be looking forward to bounce back after the last time they were beaten by Manchester City 3-0 and Doku had one of the best performances I've ever seen from him and it still seems ni kama Liverpool bado they have some issues because prior to the previous game, the last time Manchester City iliwachapa ilikuwa ni 2023, but as of now it's like they are slowly wamekuwa wakigundulika, yani their style of play imekuwa found out, and Salah is not firing goals for them. So Liverpool, they are still in the mud, though Nottingham Forest, I feel like Nottingham Forest is not strong enough to challenge them. So yep, I think Liverpool can get a win, and I'll go for 3-1 win for Liverpool. Na wewe Johnson, unaje Liverpool na Nottingham Forest?
Mimi siwezi kasema Nottingham mate iko kitu kidogo. Mimi hii game itakuwa game Nottingham has nothing to lose. They are coming to Anfield and I don't see they have anything to lose, but Liverpool has everything to lose. Because if they lose this game, they are going to drift away. So I see a possibility of where they are going to go a draw of 1-1.
1-1, and we continue hapo, and St James's Park hapo kuna game kubwa, Newcastle versus Manchester City, and the kulikuwa na game hapo ilichezwa some few, let me say a month ago hapo, Arsenal versus Newcastle, and Arsenal went away to St James's Park and they picked 3 points. And me na we Jose, our teams are very very much aware of how difficult it is to play at St James's Park, because huko Newcastle inakuwa very difficult to beat them in the Prem, and Man City are going there, and this game will be very very big for Manchester City in their title race challenge against Newcastle, and Newcastle also si rahisi wapigwe huko kwao. Uh, but for me, I will back City. They have to keep up with Arsenal, and Erling Haaland is scoring goals for fun. There's a stat that I saw where he has 32 goals in 20 games, and he's scoring for both the national team and the club football. And he has sent Norway to the World Cup for the first time since I think 1978, if I'm not wrong. And the guy is doing well. And for him to send Norway to the World Cup, we have to give him his flowers. He's been firing goals left, right, and center. And also Newcastle, they have a very good striker, Nick Woltemada, has been firing goals for Germany. So this is going to be a very good one to watch. Newcastle ni ile timu yenye nasemanga Jose, their players are bullies by natural. Ukiangalia midfield hapo iko na Tonali, iko na Gimares na iko na Jolinton. Those guys are naturally niseme bullies, because it's very difficult to play against your midfield three yao. Though, but for City challenging for the title, me will back them with a 2-1 win. What
Uh,
about
I,
you?
I think that game will be a game of might. But Newcastle, Newcastle, I think they need to show the strength in their home ground, home turf, and Man City needs to keep up with Arsenal. I think they need to. I think Newcastle is what position? They're in 14th. In 14th. So I
Yeah,
think
yeah,
this one will be this
14.
one will be a tough match because Newcastle needs to lift from 14th. But I see a place where Man City is going to beat Newcastle, and I'm going to go with a 2-1 win for Man City.
2-1 win for Manchester City. And we continue. We also have Bournemouth is up against Newcastle. And Bournemouth here, Jose, they
West
have a
Ham,
player that I.
not
Uh-huh.
Newcastle. West Ham, West Ham, West Ham. You have said
Oh, sorry,
Newcastle.
sorry. Sorry. Bournemouth iko up against West Ham. And Bournemouth wako na player that I admire so much. I call him an African giant. Me always rate our own players. And I'm always happy when I see our players doing well. And I saw when Rooney juzi amecompliment hapo some African players. He was mentioning top five. And I called said Mbumo, if I'm not wrong. He also said Semenyo. So Semenyo ni player mwenye nimerate sana, and feel like he's a player mwenye anafanya poa hapo Bournemouth. And Curtis was texting me juzi, and she was saying that Semenyo is an Arsenal fan. So Curtis is fancying a January move for Semenyo to Arsenal, but we shall see how it shall happen. So Bournemouth against West Ham. Feel like Bournemouth ni side poa sana. They have a good squad hapo kina Krupi, and the likes of Adam, and wanacheza poa. though West Ham ni side yenye iko inajaribu ku is a side that is on resurgence. Walikuwa wame fall off, but and Nuno Espirito Santo, they are trying to slowly revive themselves up. Wako na kina Paketa is trying, they are doing a good job hapo wakitry kupick wins. Some weeks ago walichapa Newcastle, and right now hapo kina Boyne is also trying for West Ham. So this one is going to be a difficult one, but I see Bournemouth getting the win for the fact that they are home, playing at Vitality Stadium. So I'll back Bournemouth for a 2-1 win.
I think for me, I'll take a 2-0 win for Bournemouth. I think being at home, and also they have good players like the likes of Akina Semenyo. I think Semenyo, Rooney had called him and said Manchester should sign him. I think he's a good player. I don't know about Curtis. Unajua Curtis atasema ni Arsenal ana ni fan wa Arsenal, lakini yeye anachezea Bournemouth, utasemaje ni fan wa Arsenal? So I think I'm going to go with a 2-0 for Bournemouth.
2-0 for Bournemouth. And so we continue. Hapo we also have Leeds at home playing against Aston Villa. And this is also going to be a good one to watch, Apple. And I'm going to back an away win for Aston Villa. I think Apple, after that early scare in the early game in the season, I feel like right now Unai Emery imebidi aamshe team, and as for now, I think Unai Emery has to pick the 3 points, because anajua hata he has to try and keep up with the top, let me say top six. So I will back an Aston Villa away win, and they have to get it. So I'm going for a narrow 1-0 win for Aston Villa away win. Na wewe unaonaje Jose?
Aston Villa iko namba ngapi na Leeds?
Aston Villa, let me see hapa kwa table. Aston Villa is in position 6. Uh, Leeds is in position 16. Leeds in position 16.
I see a draw. Mi nataka tupite Aston Villa if possible. So I'm going to go for them to a draw of 1-1.
We're going for a draw hapo. And we also have Arsenal versus Tottenham. This is a Super Sunday North London derby, and this is the game yenye inakuanga very niseme aje, it's a high risk game hapo, and it's a game whereby hizi the two fan bases ndio zile ambazo zinachukiana sana. There is a very very big beef in North London between Arsenal and Tottenham. Though of late Arsenal imekuwa ikidominate the North London derby, sika kitambo 5-6 years ago ulikuwa unapata Tottenham inashinda home, Arsenal inashinda home. So ilikuwa both teams were picking points at their home grounds, but ilifika point Mikel Arteta became so dominant, and Arteta always picks 3 points up against Spurs. It doesn't matter the coach, it doesn't matter the ground. And this game they are playing it up at home, and they are not having Saliba in the game. So Jose, you have to talk about Saliba being out. I think he's out for a month or two, and Arsenal fans wameanza kuingiza baridi when wamesikia Saliba is out. Not Saliba, sorry, Gabriel is out.
Gabriel,
Yeah, so they wameanza kuwa scared. Though I still will back them to get 3 points against Spurs, because I feel like Spurs are not really creating much at the front to trouble teams, and at the back they're giving away simple chances. Ukiona hata ile bao yenye Chelsea iliwafunga ile ya Caicedo, even the one which Mbumo scored, utapata both of those goals zenye wamekuwa wakifungwa ni bao zenye they had an opportunity to prevent, but they playing from the back, and they feel like imewacost mabao. But the funny thing also is Spurs have the best away record in the league, going to Emirates. So this is going to be a good one to watch. But for me, if I'm saying, if Thomas Frank doesn't create chances to score against Arsenal, he doesn't have a chance of winning, because Arsenal are very solid at the back. both of those teams zinatumia set piece, but Arsenal are the ones who are now the real set piece merchants. So if Spurs are to trouble Arsenal, they will have to push forward, they'll have to create, they'll also have to be solid at the back. But I'm going for a narrow 1-0 win because I expect Arsenal wafunge set piece and they park the bus as always. Anyway, Jose, unaonaje hii game?
Hii game
Mhm.
nilikwambia ninaona kandovu katikiteremka. Kandovu kanaanza kuteremkia hapa the likes
Hiyo
of
Collins
akina Partey and
akisikia
those teams.
hatakubaliana nayo, hiyo akisikia
Unajua the
atakasirika.
problem is the problem
Mm,
akubaliane ama akatae, that back
mm.
of theirs they are saying is strong. Already one guy is injured, and that guy has been so dominant in their back defense. So I'm seeing a place where they are going to go a draw between Tottenham and Arsenal, because all of them Arsenal needs set pieces. And who scores the set pieces mostly?
Gabriel,
It's the
Gabriel.
defense. Yeah, and you see the height in Arsenal helps them. But if you see the likes of Akina Gabriel Akona injury, I think it will be difficult for Arsenal to score in games like that. Uliona hata si tulifunga Tottenham na nini?
Set piece.
Yeah,
Delict.
because the last goal was set piece. So that's why I'm telling you, Arsenal to score Tottenham itakuwa ngumu sana kwa sababu ya hizo ma set pieces zitakuwa zimeumia. So I'm going for a draw of 1-1. I think kuna mtu atakataana na mimi, but I know it will be a draw for 1-1.
Okay, asante sana. And we move on swiftly. We also have Manchester United is up against Tottenham. No, sorry, Everton. They're up against Everton at home, and so Amorim will be looking forward to build on what he has started. And wamekuwa wakicheza poa. Sin Lamens, I think, is one to watch, and he's been making good saves up for United. And so I think as for now, United fans will be very, very happy seeing that Onana is gone and Lamens ako hapo, and he came in, does the job for United. Mbumo ameanza kufunga, he has 5 goals in the league, and Kuni also is doing well. So I think for United, they are slowly trying to pick up points and try to stay in the top 8. So I don't think Everton will be much of a big task. Though najua Everton is not an easy side to play against. Kina Jack Grealish, those guys are not easy to play against them. They will cause some sort of trouble. But I think the best Everton can do is a draw. But I'm going for a narrow win for United. I'm going for a 2-1 win for United.
Yes, for Manchester, that game will be interesting, and it's very good that you've talked about the likes of Akina Boomer. Me, what I'm going to talk about is defense. The like of Akina Lisandro Martinez is back, and we know he can hold the defensive well, the role well. So this game will be, it's good that Manchester United played some heavy games in the opener. So I think now it will be easy for them because they'll be playing these games which will be not harder for them like the big teams. So I'm going for a win. We are going to win in Everton grounds. I think we are going to win a 2-0 clean sheet. I think Lames will keep a clean sheet this time round. It's not easy because they have Akina Haaland, Akina, it's called who,
Kina
Grealish.
Grealish,
Yeah,
Abeto.
but it's not going to be easy. But I see Lamens keeping a clean sheet because if Martinez is going to be back, and they are going to hold it down with Delete. Delete has been playing very good football of late. I've been seeing him playing very good in the back spaces there. I think that one we're going to have, and also it will be at home, so there will not be too much pressure like that kama tungekuwa. So I see a win of Manchester 2-0.
Manchester 2-0. And we also have Brighton, which is up against Brighton versus Brentford. And Jose, you always back Danny Welbeck to score. So Brighton is up against Brentford. And this is also going to be a good one to watch up because Brentford, their coach Apo Keith Andrews has been doing well. And it being his first time as a coach, I think the guy anafanya poa. So Brighton versus Brentford is going to be a good one to watch. But for me, I'll back a draw. I'll back a draw, and I'm seeing two people to score: Danny Welbeck and Igor Thiago mwenye uh, anachezea Brentford. Unaonaje hiyo game Jose? Do you still back Welbeck to score?
Nilikwambia hapo huwezi kukosa bet yako. Ukiweka tu Welbeck to score utapata tu kakitu. So I'm going to put Welbeck to score and I think the game will go to 1. I see a win for Brighton. It will go at 2-1. It is a difficult one because Brentford si rahisi, but I see the home advantage added for Brighton. They can get a 2-1 win, but I see Welbeck will score 1 goal in that game.
Welbeck will Okay, Welbeck to score. And tukimalizia sasa the last prediction we have Fulham versus Sunderland. This is also going to be a good one to watch. Fulham against Sunderland. We saw what Sunderland did versus Arsenal. Ndio hao walifungua the title race hapo. Fulham walitetemesha title race not Fulham, sorry, Sunderland. Walitetemesha title race ya Arsenal, and this week they are playing against Fulham. So it's going to be a good one to watch. And I will back a draw because Sunderland were away. I don't expect them to get the win versus Fulham, but I expect them to get a draw. Unaonaje hiyo game Jose ya Fulham na Sunderland?
Ningetaka Boni akuwe hapa juu angefurahia sana. Lakini sasa ako frustrated kwa sababu ako between two teams, Fulham na Sunderland. But I see a Sunderland win of 2-1. I see like they're going to cause mayhem in that game. But me, I can opt for a draw. Draw will be good, but inaweza ona Sunderland ikishinda. But for me, a draw will be good for me. But I see a 2-1 win for Sunderland.
2-1 win. So, and I think with that, Jose, to may come to the end of today's show, and let me big up everyone who is watching me on all platforms hapa, on YouTube, on X, on Facebook. Big up to everyone mwenye amenijoin hapa live, the 22 of us wenye tuko hapa live. Thank you for joining me for tonight's show. I appreciate you all, and we want to grow this platform hapo ikwe big hapa, whereby we discuss football matters zenye zina happen in and outside the country, across the globe, because football is a sport that unites the world. And for us here hapa on Africa, we want to build a football community. And without saying much, thank you, Joseph, for joining me tonight, Apa, to give the predictions and discuss the international football games zenye zimefanyika. And as I close the show, I want to honor someone who has retired today, who goes by the name Fernandinho. Fernandinho at Manchester City, ile time ya Guardiola in the 2016, 17, 18. One of the best CDMs in the game, ameretire leo. So I will give him his flowers, nimse amecheza poa sana for Manchester City and Brazil. So him retiring today, shout out to him. He has done well for Manchester City. He has won the trophies. And without much, let me give you, Jose, a chance to give us your closing remarks to funge show.
Yeah, thank you, Bwana Alex, for giving us this opportunity to come to talk about sports here. I really appreciate the time, and I really want to give my flowers to Fernandinho, lakini kuna siku tuliwafanya vibaya, kuna miaka tuliwafanya vibaya Fernandinho, kumkunja, but I give the flowers to him. He has been a good footballer, and I want also to appreciate Hakimi for winning it was well deserved. That one is a well deserved Ballon d'Or. So I really want to congratulate his winning in that
African Ballon d'Or.
Yeah, I want to for that platform for him winning. Also, I saw Ruto won in that platform. You saw Ruto won.
True.
Well, I think
True.
the best president in achievements of football. So all in all, I want to thank the viewers who come here to listen to us as we analyze. It's not that we know football too much, but we try to analyze it as possible as we can. And I would like us also to analyze as other games, Alex, see football too. Unajua ninaona tuna analyze tu futa sana. We had the sevens in Kenya, and those guys really tried. There have been so many things that Kenyan team has been performing. I also the netball. I don't know if you watched the netball they were playing, and they lifted the cup. I was following it, and also so many other avenues you have been playing, and we have been winning these things. Also, even athletics, I want to appreciate those guys. They have been performing well. Football is a bit hectic, but we need those guys to be serious. That is all we need. Waache mchezo. We are not using every funds we have because of them kuenda kufanya mchezo. We are tired of this rhetoric of them going, tunapigwa tunasema ati ni sawa. Hapana, it's not all well now. It's not good. Si vizuri hata kidogo. We not be saying it's okay mkipigwa all the time. So I hope they are going to improve. I hope the coach is going to diverse new strategies. He's going to check new. Unajua hii team inafaa mtu kama achezi wanachangiwa very quick. Je, watu wajue team ya national si mchezo. Kupata hizo sports si mchezo. So I think that is that. I want to wish all the people maybe a good night if people are watching us from Kenya. A good night from all parts and good morning to other parts because others are waking up. And good
Kina
afternoon
mzalendo.
to the people. Yeah, and good afternoon to the people who are watching us from places where it's in the afternoon. And tell everybody this platform is going to grow. We are going to push it, and we hope for better things. For this coming, I hope now football has come back. Watu watafurahia kidogo. The Premier League is back. But naonaga tuna enjoy sana English Premier League, hata tukumbukagi tuko na Kenya Premier League, but all is said and done. I think it took hearts of many Kenyans. So thank you so much, Alex, for the time and the passion you have for this great platform and for the football of Kenya.
Yeah, shukran Jose, asante sana. And let's meet on Sunday as we discuss the games. I hope by Sunday Mbogi yote tutakuwa hapa. And I spoke to the coach. Coach wanted to show up for a show, and but he said amekuwa ameshikika kidogo. So I hope on Sunday tutakuwa na coach. But either way, let's meet on Sunday.
Na uliuliza coach kama anashinda mpira ama ni kuchezo tu, hata yeye ako na michezo huko. Kwa hiyo ligi yake anafanya majambo ama ni bado hata yeye anaonyeshwa 8-0.
Coach anafanya vizuri. Barnabe anajituma. So but he has been quiet for a while, so I hope on Sunday we'll be here ndo atuambie tusikie from the horse's mouth.
Sawa. Thank you.
Sawa, siku njema.